Look at these hands. Really look at them. The knuckles are swollen with arthritis. The skin is like dried parchment paper. There is white cement dust permanently lodged under fingernails that haven't been cleaned since the Reagan administration. For 40 years, these hands didn't build dreams. They built prisons. Brick by brick. Wall by wall. My name is Marcus. I turn 61 next month. Most men my age are planning fishing trips or bouncing grandchildren on their knees. Me? I'm still carrying stones heavier than I am. I am a ghost story in a hard hat. A cautionary tale. When the young guys come onto the job site, fresh out of high school, the foreman points at me and says, "Work hard, kid, or you'll end up like old man Marcus here." Broken down before you even retire, they see a tired old white man. They don't see the boy who used to lie in the cornfields, watching the silver jets cut through the blue sky, promising himself he'd be up there one day. Going back 40 years seems like another lifetime ago. I was 18. Strong. Full of fire. I had been accepted to a prestigious flight academy. My mother, God rest her soul, she was so proud. We didn't have much money, just a small house and her pension, but she scrapped together enough to buy me my first pilot's logbook. Then the sickness came. It wasn't quick. It was a slow, cruel thief. Dementia. It started small, forgetting keys, repeating stories. Then she forgot how to cook. Then she finally forgot who I was. The doctors said she needed full-time care in a facility. The cost was astronomical. I looked at that brand new logbook. It was empty. I looked at my mother, confused and scared in her own kitchen. There was no choice. A good son doesn't leave. I took a job as a laborer the next day. I told myself, I'll save up. I'll go when she's stable. She lived for 25 years like that. 25 years of waking up at 4 a.m. 25 years of my back screaming in pain. 25 years of watching my friends become captains, start airlines, retire wealthy. While I was still mixing mortar. By the time she passed away, I was in my late 40s. The prime of my life was gone. The grief was terrible, but what came after was worse. Apathy. I was alone in an empty house. My body was broken. My knees popped with every step. I needed reading glasses just to see the breakfast menu. I thought, who are you kidding, Marcus? It's over. You missed the boat. You missed the plane. You missed everything, so I just kept working. I became part of the scenery on the construction site, like an old rusted crane that nobody bothers to move. I stopped looking up at the sky. It hurt too much to look at what I couldn't have. Then, last month, a Tuesday, raining cold rain. My joints were on fire. We were pouring concrete for a foundation. A kid next to me, maybe 20 years old, threw down his shovel. He said, "I can't take this anymore. My life is over. I'm stuck here forever." I stopped. I leaned on my shovel, breathing hard. I looked at this kid. He had his whole life ahead of him, and he was already giving up. And I realized that was me 40 years ago. And if I don't do something now, I'm going to die with this shovel in my hands. And my tombstone will say, "Here lies Marcus." He almost lived, walking into that flight school at 60 years old. That was the hardest walk of my life. The instructor was younger than my non-existent son. He looked at my white hair, my thick glasses, my hunched shoulders. He asked, "Sir, are you here to pick up a student?" I straightened my back as much as I could and said, "No, son. I'm here to learn how to fly." You should have seen the look on his face. Skepticism doesn't even cover it. I had to pass a strict medical exam. My heart, my eyes, my blood pressure. I barely scraped through. Then the classroom. Good Lord. My brain hadn't studied anything since 1978. The math was hard. The memory work was brutal. The other students, they were polite, but I could hear them whispering. "What's Grandpa doing here? He's gonna crash." I worked construction all day, popping pain pills for my back, and I studied at night with a magnifying glass. I fell asleep over my textbooks every single night. I failed 2 exams. I almost quit. But every time I wanted to give up, I thought about that empty logbook my mother gave me. I couldn't let it stay empty forever. Then came the day of my first solo flight. My hands were shaking so bad I could hardly turn the key. These old, arthritic hands. The instructor got out. "Don't break her, old-timer," he said. Not unkindly. I taxied to the runway. I pushed the throttle full forward. The little plane rattled and shook. It felt like my whole life was rattling. 50 knots. 60. Rotate. I pulled back on the yoke. The wheels left the tarmac. And suddenly the pain in my knees was gone. The ache in my back was gone. The weight of 40 years of concrete, 40 years of regret, 40 years of being the old man, it all fell away. I looked down. The world that had been so hard on me was just tiny squares and circles. I wasn't old up there. The sky doesn't care when you were born. I was crying. Tears running down into my white beard. I was finally free. I got my private pilot's license last week, 2 days after my 61st birthday. I'm not going to be an airline captain. No one is hiring a rookie my age. But I rent a plane every Sunday. I fly over the construction sites where I wasted my youth. I tip my wing to the ghosts down there. I'm talking to you now. Maybe you're 30 and feel stuck. Maybe you're 50 and think it's too late. Maybe you're 60, like me, and your body hurts. Listen to an old man who almost waited too long. Your dreams don't have an expiration date. As long as you are breathing, you are still in the game. It will hurt more now than it would have 20 years ago. It will be harder. People will think you're crazy. Let them. Don't let the sun set on your life without ever seeing what it looks like from above the clouds. Wash the dust off your hands. It is time to fly.